Ed,
Roberto, ¿cómo estás, amigo?
muy tranquilo, jefe.
Okay, here we are. I don't know about me being that, but anyhow.
Yes, so
here we go.
Well,
PPV 215.
215. So the main event fell out.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, I'm still angry.
You're still angry?
I'm still angry.
Why are you angry?
Yeah, man, well, I love me some DJ.
Possibly one of the greatest of all time, pound for pound, right?
No question. No question.
Chasing a record?
Cool. I don't really care about that. I care about fights.
Okay. So the fight didn't happen. What happened? It got rebooked, but in the aftermath and the way that the UFC dealt with the fallout of Ray Borg, you thought that they could have done more.
I'm disappointed in this whole new WME blah blah. And two, once again, the Grand Caesar declared in the past something and then reneged on that. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll never put Nunes
in the main event.
Up. So what happens? Yeah, So we're talking about business here. You understand? I really don't care about Bidnat. I don't want to know about the Bidnas.
Yeah.
But you can't avoid the Biznas. When we log in, when we bring up our favorite news item and we want to find out what the fighters are doing, who's winning, who's losing, how they winning, how they losing, how they training, how they preparing, what sandwich are they eating for lunch.
You got to
and once again, the executives that have never spent 1 minute, 1 second inside that octagon become the news.
It takes away from the sport. It takes away from...
That's not why the eyes are on it. Landline. Can we rewind to the time of the landline?
Let's go back.
No. Do we want to go back? What is what is. Okay. There's my little whinge, my little whining complaint. Main event. Shoot. And we're once again fed something. Reebok deal. Just eat this.
Okay, so there was a possibility you think that Cejudo could have been bumped up the main event.
I've said that. I want to see that fight again.
You want to run it back?
Now after we saw what Cejudo did, that was fantastic.
Good performance.
Great result. Great performance. He is progressing. And to see such a high level athlete, he's truly embracing his evolution. Fantastic to see.
How long do you think he has in his division defending the title?
What are we? What are we when we're observers? We're watching the surf roll in.
Yeah.
But so we got Nunes Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Good fight. Good fight.
Yeah. You enjoyed it? You enjoyed the back and forth?
Entertaining, good fight. Great fight. Yeah, it was a good fight. Good fight. I think the money went to the deservers on the night. Melendez and Steve, and it's good to see the real talent step up. Dos Anjos, that was a fantastic performance. We're not going to go through fight by fight. Dos Anjos, Magny, what he was able to do, and then finish him. Jeremy Stevens and Gilbert Melendez, two vets, real vets. Real guys have been around since the landline was in every home. To me, that's very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'm old, I guess, and I'm bald, and I wear glasses.
Yeah, that's
what other reason?
All true statements.
Yep, yeah. You know, both Gilbert and Jeremy, as fighters, are real fighters. They fight. They come to fight. They always come prepared. Melendez could have stopped.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what happened to his leg?
That damage.
You know, he could have stopped. He could have chose to stop, but he credited his corner for keeping him in it. Whatever. These are the reasons why we're UFC fans.
Well, we're mixed martial arts.
We're not fans because of what's his name, Emmanuel Ari. Purchasing it and the Grand Poobah Caesar, the bald one, purchasing another tract of property in Las Vegas. You know, and let's take a walk around the new headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
More power to him. God bless him. Walk on. Maybe you should walk into the desert and, you know, have a little meditation or something. Yeah.
Okay, so
two great fights there.
The business side and the fight side.
Okay,
separate things, right?
Good segue. 215. 215. Was it really a powerful pay-per-view? Could that have been a Fox and FS1 card? Without a doubt.
Definitely.
So, okay. Business, our simple little business, you know, and I'm in this business from, you know, the bottom level, you know, and I'm able to make a tax deduction for the $49.95 pay-per-view.
Right.
Okay. But should I have had to spend $49.95 through my business to his business to their business? I say no problem. Jeremy, Gilbert, Henry, Wilson, Raphael, Neil. Good. There were a couple other fights in there. I like this. I was watching this Tucker kid from the Canadian,
right?
But geez, he got basically and it could have been stopped. He got spanked by a veteran, Glenn. You know, there's some stories there. I got an old friend on the card, Alex White, had a good win over Mitch Clark, who, you know, Canadian kid, and now he bows out. But anyhow, let's move on to the business because I'm angry.
Okay.
I'm an angry old man.
What's the business?
McGregor Mayweather.
Right.
Okay, now I'm not going to go, oh, did we tell you so?
Well, I drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, the fight didn't pan out exactly how I thought it was going to. And the fact that Mayweather came forward did after the first few rounds that he kind of just looked at McGregor to see what he was going to do.
Yeah.
To see how awkward it was going to be, but then he had it. He had it.
A lot of people think that that was, you know, Mayweather's game plan. Like you said, he's seen it all. Mayweather knows it all. Potentially might have just let McGregor come in, tire himself out, and then put it on. Could he have put it on from the beginning?
I don't think it's a tired out thing. It was more like feeling the range, looking at him. You know, it was like he was watching the video game and then getting his timing and seeing what he had to do to take out the threat.
Yeah.
And Mayweather's, we've only seen them do that a couple of times, then come forward. He usually sits back and uses the ropes and defensive and makes people look silly and does small spurts of counter fighting.
Right.
But the fact that he was very offensive and didn't throw big combos until the last salvo.
Mm-hmm.
And, what we saw was, people say, oh, look, McGregor threw a lot of, he threw more strikes than Pacquiao against Mayweather.
Sure.
But as Mayweather said, I wasn't counterpunching. So he was allowing him so he could time him.
Right.
And see where he's going to be for the offensive mode.
Which is what I was saying. Like, Mayweather was kind of letting him do what he wanted to do to read him
his
to...
ring. It was his ring. It was the master's ring. And, did it look like a bad sparring session for Mayweather? And when I say that, he didn't have a great opponent. That's a fact, Jack. The undercard was better fights.
Really?
Yeah, most certainly.
Didn't know. I was actually one of the...
Undercard was better fights.
I ordered the fight on Fight Pass.
Okay, I don't want to know.
I got issues.
Okay, well, there you go. We're talking about business again, aren't we? Okay.
Right. So,
but, the whole thing, that whole event was business. There were some good fights on the undercard.
Right.
No question.
No, I did manage to get it in the end. I had to switch providers and then get it.
See what you're telling me? You're telling me things. I'm going to forget. I've already forgotten it. The old man's already forgot what you just said. I've already forgotten.
Well, you went to the pub.
But what I said before the fight was they had the steak, the filet mignon, they had the eye fillet on the menu.
We got a
burger.
They
said they were going to. Did we get a burger? It wasn't a terrible burger.
It wasn't a McDonald's burger. It was.
You're the one who's talking business now. I'm not talking business. I'm talking burgers. Okay, the burger. We got like a fish and chips, level burger there. A good one with a lot, but you ate it. Are you going back? Nah, I ain't going. I'm not going back there. I just pulled into that space because it was convenient, and I was a little bit hungry, so I got I went with the burger with the lot.
Right. So we move on. It's done and dusted. McGregor.
What did we learn? What did we learn from that fight?
Well, I didn't learn.
We learned that this weekend we're going to have a real boxing fight. That's what we learned. Triple G, Canelo.
So it gave it more hype.
Okay, so who are we taking? Triple G, Canelo. Pick.
I'm going with the Mexican. I got the Mexican hat on.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely, without hesitation, I'm going with Triple G. Okay?
There we go.
Okay, 3 words. Okay, size. That's a given. But my call is speed. And I've had some arguments about this, but I'm going with speed.
Sure.
Okay? Okay, power is obviously there, but I'm not going to put that on that. I truly believe on the mental side, Triple G has it over Canelo for this fight.
Right.
So, size, speed, mental. 3 words. Could be wrong. And I think there's going to be a bit of a war, but that's my call.
Look, I'm going straight raza. I have no idea who's going to win. I'm going with the Mexicano. I'm backing my guy. That's as far.
And I'm going the mental thing because Triple G's climb, very different to Canelo's climb. I'm not saying Canelo ever forgets what he came from, but Triple G, it's not been that long since he, his feet are still on the ladder.
All right.
That's my little call. That's the old man's call.
Cool.
Okay. So, back to MMA Republic.
Back to the MMA Republic. Wherever you are, you're always in the Republic. And
you are. Our friend Jesse Taylor off of the Sydney card.
Off the Sydney card.
Yeah, so it just segues
Flagged.
into the, flagged. So, I start to really drill down into all the USADA and the science. And I do get a bit lost. I try to be informed in that, and I get a little bit lost. And now, especially and my emotional investment into the fighters and into the fight, I get a bit emotional. I love me some Bonesy Jonesy. And my disappointment overtakes all that need to be informed technically and from a science point of view. We're looking at a possible 4 years, which basically is ding, 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 ding.
That's it. Curtains.
It's all over. And after what we saw against DC, back up pound for pound, it's crying time. Two, talk about business. That hurts all the way around. Emotionally invested in the fighter, all the good stuff.
The comeback.
We can't, that was such a satisfying win. I was in a backstreet pub in Perth after a regional card on the Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday midday.
Yeah.
And to watch that. And to also see the crowd, how they waved, and I can't ever know. I can go back to UFC 140, Jonesy Bonesy versus Machida,
right?
And how he handled Machida, but also what struck me, and I was there with Mr. Ebersol. A little shout out to Mr. Ebersol. It caught me off guard how disliked Jonesy Bonesy was. I didn't appreciate. I didn't understand. I didn't know he was so disliked. So. Definitely had his fans.
Yeah.
I would say majority were not in his corner, which caught me. Yeah. And two, he had not hit he was on his climb.
Yeah.
He was on his ladder.
Still up there. Absolutely.
He was still on his way up.
So, okay, 4 years aside, let's say he does get the maximum sentence. That aside, someone like that, do you think it's worth banning them for life? Is that something that should be considered? Is that...
I honestly are of two minds when,
repeat offender...
Okay, let me just say this. The way the UFC as a business treats their talent, the way they treat it, and now, with the new ownership, we're talking USA, American. How do you guys say it? You drop the A off there. American.
With an M.
Big business. Big business. We're talking big business here. This is corporate America. This is Trumpy's world.
Right.
Yeah? DW and Trump are friends.
Absolutely.
They're friends. They're friends. They're friends. Okay? Now, we know UFC fighters. We talk to UFC fighters. We smell their dirty clothes. They're real people. The big business side of town, they're not real people. Also, when they get up off their desks, I think they've got tails and hooved appendages. There's some evil stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't care.
No.
They don't care about their talent. So, when there's PEDs and the whole, we're getting into that, we're the NFL. Well, okay, you're the NFL of combat sports.
Sure.
So let's expect all the CTE. Let's expect we don't care, throw them at the curb, let's expect some pensions. Let's, all this stuff that the margins and the level of profit and the not caring about the talent and what happens afterwards, it's inequity. There's no question about it. You cannot question that. That's corporate America. That's life. You're going to have fat-ass coffee-drinking white blokes sitting at desks.
So should they go back to the?
I'm not saying
the Pride contract.
I'm an observer. I'm just okay.
The Pride contract stated that they will not test for steroids, rather than have USADA come in and act like they're a clean sport. Should they be all on steroids, or does that make it a level playing field?
I don't have the solution, but when you create a system, that is what is, I actually almost segued into gun control there for a second.
You a gun nut? Do you own any guns?
I live in Australia. I'm a Yank that lives in Australia. But
so that's a yes.
I grew up with, in a house that had guns, and and I grew up in a gun control state of Massachusetts.
Absolutely.
So, this is what I'm talking about. We live in what we live. I didn't choose to be born, where they park the car in Harvard Yard. I didn't choose that. I was born into that.
Live free or die hard, right?
You're getting into an area that you don't know anything about. Okay, live free or die is New Hampshire. Okay, New Hampshire, and that's right across the border. And they call us flatlanders or massholes. Okay, we're going in a whole different place there. Okay,
well, you brought up the guns.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, why is it that we live on this big island on the south of the border or the equator, and that culture does not exist, but it does up there? So I don't have answers. I just am what am. That's the way it is. I don't try to, but it's definitely a cultural thing. Could the UFC ever have been founded in Australia? No way. It's American. And now what it's evolved into? What is it evolving into? The business side of things.
Yeah. Corporate America.
No question about it. Does that guy who's making all the decisions know anything about the fight business? And I'm talking about Mr. Emmanuel.
Yeah, no, I don't think he does, right? He just gets the checks. I mean...
get the checks. He's got a big, huge pile of debt. But ain't that America? Little pink houses for you and me. I guess what am I trying to say? what is what is. And the PEDs, the Johnny Bones Jones, it's a fantastic, tragic American story. You know, upstate New York, family of superb athletes. Superb, without a question. And Johnny Bones Jones has done everything to landmine his journey to himself, lampoon himself. But, you know, an imperfect human being, but a fantastically close to perfect combat sports athlete. It's a tragedy.
Absolutely.
Tragic. I truly emotionally, I hurt when I hear, because I want to watch him fight. That, I know that. I want to watch Bonesy Jonesy fight.
Yeah.
And that's really what the UFC is about. And the business side, it's, you know, that's not my world. That's not what I want to spend my Sunday afternoon talking or watching. You know?
So what do you think the sport, as it continues to evolve, as there's these instances that
no question about it. The Fox deal for the UFC, good for the business, bad for the sport. It's watered down since that Kane, what was it? Kane and Junior,
right?
Sagan
on the Fox car.
Yeah, that first, and what had happened. So when there became levels of cards, and we got more fights, but did we get better quality? And, you know, are things watered down? You know, I question, the two female fights on the undercard of 215.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to ever talk about them again? Did we talk about them?
No, but so you look at Amanda Nunes, right? If the business was doing the business side of things and the marketing, could they market Amanda Nunes more than they are? I mean,
I think they did a decent job in the lead up. You know, I feel like I emotionally invest in both those fighters, Shevchenko, and, you know, they've painted a good story, and Nunes. You know, I in both of them.
Well, you look at Dana White's comments about Nunes and how negative he was about her.
You know, that whole thing, you know, it's like Joe Rogan yelling. You know, it's noise. It's noise. But maybe the positive side of the business picture is the painting the stories, painting the pictures of the fighters and the newer fighters. Maybe that's being done better at a higher, but I'm not sure, because I can go back to the Zuffa special, and you can look it up on Milicic Fighting Systems. You know, I can tell you, when I sat down and watched it for the first time, and we're talking, I think it was from 2002 or something like that, I cried, you know?
Yeah.
When I watched it.
Yeah.
I did. You know? And I think that's probably, who knows, you know, that's why we're tied to Matt Hughes. We watched his journey with the UFC.
Yeah.
And he's a huge chunk of the UFC. Love him or hate him. But there's a story there. And now what's happened, you know, he's been in a bad accident. However that happened, whatever happened. But we want to know, how's he doing?
Yeah.
You know, what's he doing? So that's my little thing. This has been more about the business for a reason. I think this card, this pay-per-view 215, has given us some insight into, and the McGregor Mayweather thing, which was hocus pocus. It was David Copperfield. I stood in a factory in suburban Melbourne with 60 people, on the sausage sizzle, watching it. And, and I asked myself, well, I knew that was, we knew that was what it was going to be like.
Yeah, that's right. The circus that it was.
Yeah. Right? But we all had to watch. Yeah.
They did get their money, didn't they?
Yeah, and it was hocus pocus. It was, what are the two with the lions, the tigers? What are those two Las Vegas guys?
The MGM?
With the tigers. The two.
Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, Siegfried and Roy.
Right.
And David Copperfield, and what's the new guy? Chris Angel. Illusionist. It was
Carrot Top.
It's hocus pocus. It's misdirection.
It's the show.
It is the evilness of corporate America, blah, 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 and the money and the machine and Madison Avenue and Wall Street joining together to sell the mortgages in Lodi, California. Sorry. I went a little bit political there, didn't I?
Yeah, you went a little bit
GFC. But the 209, there's stories. But do we want to see Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor fight again? Yes.
Yeah,
yes, we do.
100%.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Make the match. Make it. We want to watch that again. Is that hocus pocus? I don't think so.
No.
Those are two good MMA fighters fighting good MMA fights. And there's an element of train wreck in there. Isn't there? Conor, don't play safe. Go for broke. And I can tell you, if you go for broke, what's going to happen? You're going to lose again. You play it safe and you run.
Yeah.
And maybe you got to win on your call,
I'd love to see Nate Diaz with the belt.
See what you just said? That's UFC. That's where the business should go. Yeah.
Speaking of Diaz McGregor 3, we've got Tony Ferguson versus Kevin Lee, UFC 216.
Two fantastic fighters. Is that McGregor Diaz?
No.
Bisping GSP. I like it. I like that. I like that. What's going to happen in that fight? Tell me. Plus Madison Square Garden. Well, we can put the hocus pocus on it, because where the hell did GSP go for however long? Was he throwing rocks into the St. Lawrence River in Montreal? Where's he been? What's he been doing? Who cares? But do we want to see us some GSP?
Sure.
We do!
Absolutely.
We're UFC fans. We want to see that.
So let's say he beats Bisping, right? He has to stay on and at least defend the belt once, according to what's been agreed, the contracts, etc.
So do you believe that?
I don't know.
Do you believe those?
I don't believe anything.
Those guys with the tails sitting under the desks? I don't believe anything. And I think you see, this is where we see actions and rather than words. What does Bisping do when he's not training? He rides that desk at Fox Sports.
Right.
He's good. Okay. Dan Hardy, does he have special gifts? Tell me the truth. Does he have special gifts as a commentator?
No.
For some reason, do you think Bisping has special gifts riding that desk at Fox?
I hate him riding that desk.
Okay, well, I'm just asking. Special gifts. Brian Stan, I think, had some gifts. But he's obviously that intelligent to go, this ain't the end game for my family. And the home team, wherever, I'm going to say 44 Main Street, Middle America.
Yeah.
or that nice neighborhood, whatever. And he's got to walk his own, that's a story. I have always liked what he had to say. Yes, at times very vanilla flavored, definitely a company man, but he did give you good fight knowledge and insight. And
about every single fighter.
Yeah.
He did his homework.
And he's a worker. He's a worker, yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah. I think Dominic Cruz has gifts. Has gifts.
I always thought Frank Mir.
Frank Mir has got. I like him too. WEC days. He's Stephan Bonner in WEC days. Some good insight. Caring. Back then too, he had inside knowledge of those fighters.
Steven Quadros and
Quadros to me,
with Boss, him and Boss.
Have they run has that horse run the thing? I don't know. Okay, we're going in a direction here. We're talking about business, but when we're talking about the fighters, I think Boss's insight has it run. Do I watch him in what's his name?
Ronaldo?
Rice? No, Mr. Rice.
Kenny Rice.
Kenny Rice. I want to say Jim Rice.
Jim Rice.
He played baseball for the Red Sox. See? You are what you are. I'm a masshole. That's where I come from. I'll always be part of the Red Sox nation. I can't deny it. What do you got there? What do you got for us? There you go. See? And please, to all my Australian friends, I know it's easy to put on a New York cap, but just remember what you're doing when you do that, okay?
Hey, we saw the Red Sox and the White Sox.
And the White Sox. And we saw them on the south side.
What does that mean?
Yeah. And no matter what they want to call it, what they call it, Bell Cellular Park? Or
Sure.
What did they call it? It's Comiskey Park.
Yeah. Okay. I forget the name of the park.
Okay. And, you can take the Polish out of Chicago. You can't take Chicago out of the or something like that. Anyhow, MMA Republic.
MMA Republic.
Talked a lot about business, but reflection. We're observers. We're citizens of the Republic.
We see what's going on.
We love the UFC, but please stop feeding us. Stop feeding us the stale bread. Stop feeding us things, for you rather than us. And
I totally agree with you. I'd love nothing more for that
McGregor
to happen.
Diaz.
Absolutely.
Please. And then bring us Nick.
That's the money fight.
Yeah. How come you're not throwing money at Nick Diaz? Come on. We all want to see that.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to see Nick Diaz fight? Who doesn't?
Absolutely.
Please.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
The old man's a little bit angry still. Still from 215. Okay. There was bugs in my porridge. Somebody put bugs in the porridge that morning. Okay? And I wasn't happy. I want to see DJ fight. I want to see the best fighter possibly that we'll ever see, pound for pound, fight. Do you get it, UFC? I want to see him fight. Put Cejudo in. Fight him. We just want to see him fight. That's the headline. Do you get it? Whatever the contracts, that's all just words on a piece of paper and your lawyers in Wall Street and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm angry.
Done.
Get it?
Yes.
Give us some Diaz. Give us some Bisping. Give us some GSP. Give us some Jeremy Stevens and Gilbert Melendez. Look at that. Scrap packs are always there. Always. Give us some Cejudo. William Hayes. Who else did I miss there? Yes, Raphael and Neil. Neil up and cover. Look at the Neil Lombard fight. Come on. Yeah. We're not. They were fighters. They're fighters.
Bob Brandillashaw. Great fight.
Yes, bring it on.
I think Thompson Masvidal. I think there's.
Bring it on. Want to see it. Yes. Morales. What was the girl that she submitted? Evan Smith. Okay. Moving on. What was the other? McCann, Vieira. I gotta go to the dentist because I got a tooth I need work on.
I've got a guy.
Do you understand?
I've got a guy.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Shevchenko, Nunes. Want to see? do we want to see it again? Do we want to see it again?
Run it back.
I'll see it.
There was some potential for either of those to win.
Do we want to see a satisfying finish? Yeah. Can we let them go? Could we have let them go 3 more rounds? Right then and there. Yeah. Okay. Because we weren't satisfied. Split decisions are not satisfying. And Shevchenko didn't believe she lost, did she? Well, they fought for a title, blah, 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 the old school boxing analogy, rah, 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 you got to beat the champ. Did she beat the champ?
Okay, rebook that one.
Yeah, do it again.
Will Brooks and Nick Lentz, I think also, both coming off losses, both.
Yeah, Carney, we got history there. Has the horse run, though? Get Sydney coming up. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
November.
No.
Okay.
Done.
Citizens bowing off the mat. MMA Republic.
Thank you very
much. We're angry.
He's angry.
We're angry.
I'm alright.
Okay.
We'll see it.